hauling the rest of the bales off that 1,000 bale field. I'm heading out to the field right now with the bale wagon, and we're ripping the Case MX 285 right now. It's a pretty quick tractor. We're able to rip between the fields pretty fast. So we're hopefully gonna get all these bales off today. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. This is a Highline bale wagon. The reason why we use this instead of a big flatbed trailer is because our land is so close to our farm. I'm only hauling these bales 1 kilometer, and so it's really convenient to scoop them on, not have to unhook the trailer, whereas with a flatbed trailer you would need to unhook it and then go and pick the bales. You could fit more than double the amount of bales on a flatbed trailer as you could with this thing, and that's why if you're hauling maybe 10 or 15 clicks away from your farm, it would be better off to have a flatbed trailer with a front end loader on your tractor. But since we're not hauling that far at all, we just always have used one of these trailers. Had to stop in at the barn and grab some coffee. It's pretty much mandatory on colder mornings like this. Ah, that's some good stuff. Grain bin and our dried distillers grain bins are both empty. Our feed mill is right here. It's what we use to dump the grain into our feed wagon for the milk cows, and so we're just going to be moving grain over. Unfortunately, those bins are pretty small, so we have to fill them up every 2 weeks or so. Hopefully within the next 2 years we're going to build a new feed mill, and that'll allow us to store feed for longer. But for now, this is how we do it. It's a lot of extra work, but it gets the job done. So we already have the auger in the dried distillers grain bin right here. This is the dried distillers grain. It's a byproduct from an ethanol plant. It's really high in protein, so since it's a byproduct, it's a pretty cheap source of protein that we can feed to the cows in their TMR. Now we're gonna start the auger up and let it warm up for a little while. It's been sitting here for a couple days now. Just put the choke on. So the truck's full, now we're gonna line up the other auger. we're heading over to our other yard right now. We got barley grain in a couple of bins over there for the next feed bin that we're gonna fill up out here. So we're just moving this auger over there, and we're gonna have to move this big red auger over as well. But I'm first gonna put some fuel in this yellow auger. It's not gonna have enough to empty 3 loads into the truck. We got the auger lined up at that other bin here. We just got a few bins here. There's some more over there too, and a little shop. Basically, we got this yard when we bought a bunch of land from a different guy. And so we are able to store a bunch of grain out here as well. Behind me here, this thing will hold about 600 bushels, and the bin back at home that holds the feed barley is about 1,800 bushels. So 3 big loads will do it. It's the next day now. Last night I was moving grain from this bin into that bin. I had to dump this entire bin. It was completely full of canola into this one. So I had it set up so I could just dump into this truck. It would go into that hopper and back up into that bin. We did this because the aeration pipes in the bin collapsed. I'll show you guys what that is. So that's in the hopper of the bin. This way we can combine when the grain isn't as dry as it needs to be for a bin without aeration. There's a fan that pumps air through that pipe, and the pipe has a bunch of little holes in it, and it lets the air go to the top and just dries the grain down. The air outside needs to be a low humidity. It can't be raining, but it helps you combine when your grain isn't dry. So these are the old aeration pipes. They're pretty destroyed, got crushed. We're not sure why this happened exactly, but they're fixed now. They did all 4 bins here. These are 10,000 bushel bins. We're back in the cow barn again. We want to adjust this neck rail here. We're going to move it 4 inches further out. This will hopefully stop the cows from shitting so much in the beds. We're having a couple problems with that. There's just too much shit in the beds. This is going to create more mastitis in the herd, and the cows are going to get dirtier. So this is just going to help keep them clean. Basically what happens is, this girl, she's laying too far up into the bed. She should be a little bit further. Her ass should be hanging into the shit alley, and that'll make it so she can't shit in the beds. Now if she were to take a crap, she would take a crap right in the beds, which is not great. So yeah, we're gonna move this neck rail a little bit further out. We're just gonna start by marking 4 inches in on every single bed. Awesome, so we got all of the holes marked here, the loops, and basically what we're gonna do is we're gonna undo 2 bolts here, these 2 bolts, and then that'll make this clamp loose and we can slide it back. And then we're gonna do it for every single clamp on this entire section of bed. I think there's about 58 beds here. So Yeah, that's what we're gonna do next. So we're gonna be using this cordless impact, and it's gonna make things a heck of a lot easier. We got all the clamps loose down this entire neck rail, so now we're just gonna try pulling it forward a bit down the entire length, and then we'll suck them all down nice and tight again. Cows typically will like rub their head off or their back on this brush, but this cow's just got her ass backed right up on it, and she's getting a nice butt rub. We got the neck rails on both sides of the beds here moved over. That front section is done too. Now there's just a section at the back there that needs to be done yet, but we're gonna take a break just because on the other side of the barn there's cows that are booking it back and forth. They're a little bit freaked out. This impact drill is pretty loud. So we're just gonna take a break. Hopefully they'll calm down. We'll come back later and finish the rest of the beds. But that's gonna be it for this video, guys. If you enjoyed it, hit that subscribe button and the like button down below. And I hope to see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.